That's all. But as long as keeping the child, more psychological assessment is needed for the surrogate rather than the couple.
Bueno, sí, no sé si puedo añadir algo. Puedo hacer una añadidura muy... No, que simplemente que el método tradicional por el cual son concebidos la inmensa mayoría de los niños todavía tampoco requiere ningún requerimiento previo para los padres, no sé si desgraciadamente.
¿Alguna otra pregunta? Yo creo que daremos...
What will happen to a child when it's handicapped, or if the surrogate mother dies when she delivers the child? What will happen to her children and her family in India?
No, I did not hear. You can repeat?
Yes. What will happen to the children when they are born and they have a handicap, and the biological family says we don't want to have this child because it's handicapped? And what will happen if the surrogate mother dies when she's delivering the baby? And what will happen to her family in India?
Okay. So when we sign the contract agreement, at the time of contract, the couple will mention that supposing if they get divorced, who will keep the baby? And supposing if something happens to them and they die, that they have to give the name of 2 family friends or family members who will take the custody of the child. And as I said, once the child is born, because it is genetically related to them, the chances of not coming and claiming the baby is almost 0. We have never experienced this. And regarding the stillbirth, we give full care to the surrogate and the baby. But even if it happens that there is a stillbirth at full term, the couple will have to pay the compensation to the surrogate, and it is a medical problem, so nothing else can be done if at all that happens.
Yes, and what if the child is handicapped and the couple decides not to accept a handicapped child?
Yes. What happens, even if the baby is handicapped, the couple will have to accept the baby. The surrogate has no duty towards the baby or no right over the baby. But we at our clinic have a special fetal medicine specialist who is the best in India, coming every 2 weeks to check the fetus. We do all the tests to find out if there is any chromosomal problem. We do number of ultrasound scans and a target scan by the specialist who is the best in India, who comes every 15 days. So far we have been able to diagnose if there is a minor handicap, and if a surgery can take care of it, the couple willingly go ahead and deliver the baby and do the surgery for the baby. If there is a major handicap, then we inform the couple and we have to terminate the pregnancy.
Sí, un comentario. Daremos una pregunta más porque se nos está...
Creo que la doctora no llegó a entender la pregunta, pero maybe I can answer your question.
The last one.
When you sign your surrogacy agreement, you are legally bonded to this baby. So your question is exactly the same as what would happen if you are traveling to India, two parents travel to India, and then they have a child there, and then the child is handicapped. Maybe they don't want to, if they don't want to take charge of the baby, they have a legal problem. Of course, they are morally horrible people, and they have a legal problem. It's exactly the same problem. There's no special problem on surrogacy. The situation you were asking is exactly the same as if a couple travels to India, have a baby there, and the baby is handicapped. There's no difference from that.
una pregunta más. Y ¿quién había pedido la...? Ah, vale.
Yo lo que quería preguntar es que a lo largo de todo el proceso de gestación, que son 9 meses, es mucho tiempo, y a pesar del contrato firmado, ¿qué ocurre en el caso de que esa mujer que se ha prestado para ese servicio finalmente lo quisiera cancelar y renunciara a entregar a ese niño a quien ha proporcionado el material genético? Y también si se está pensando, porque a día de hoy hay estudios que demuestran el vínculo que se establece en entre la madre gestante y su bebé. Y se sabe a día de hoy niños que están adoptados, pero inmediatamente después de nacer, las secuelas emocionales que ha dejado esa ruptura con la madre.
I cannot. Now I can hear you. Yes. No, that does not happen, because in the agreement or the contract that we signed, and according to the Indian guidelines, ICMR guidelines, the surrogate has no right over the baby. So when the contract is signed, it is already written there that surrogate has no right to keep that baby. So Indian laws are very favorable that for the couple, because Indian laws, there are no laws, but guidelines do not give any right to the surrogate. It's compulsory for the surrogate to hand over the baby to the couple. And that's the reason we take a surrogate who has got one living child of her own, so that she has an emotional bonding already with her living child, and she is doing for the future of her child, and she understands the infertility of the other couple, and they are counseled very well at 3 stages. Before recruiting them, there is an in-depth counseling to the surrogate that this baby is not going to be yours. While she is pregnant, at the time of the scan, we show that this baby looks like the couple. And finally, whenever there is a foreigner baby being delivered, she will not relate to the baby because the baby looks totally different from her and her children. So this is how we take care of that. The surrogate's children you are talking about. So what happens to the baby? To the baby, you mean to say? The surrogate, they are counseled. So they are 95% of the surrogates have no problem when they are handing over the baby to the couple. The surrogate mother does not have a problem. Normally, according to the guideline, the baby should be separated from the surrogate mother within 6 weeks or less. Okay. For the child, not really, because the child is very small. By the time the baby is separated, the baby is already with the intended parents. So there are intended parents or the couples who say that we will bring this baby to India to meet the surrogate when the baby is 5 years. Every birthday they send a picture to the surrogate of the baby while the baby is growing. So it is more like merging of one family, that the surrogate's family with the intended couple's family, and they remember each other, but there is no separation problem so far, because the first surrogate child that we have delivered commercially must be right now 6 years of age.
Bueno, yo sé que hay muchísimas preguntas, hay muchísimo interés, pero tenemos otro ponente aquí y estamos ya casi en 1 hora. Creo que Hugo podrá contestar muchas de las preguntas que todavía queden pendientes, y luego tenemos un café y luego a la noche tenemos un coloquio, pero estamos casi en 50 minutos de conexión con Naina y yo creo que podemos pasar a la siguiente presentación. Muchísimas gracias. Ah,
Yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah. My pleasure. Thanks. Okay. Bye. Disconnect.
bueno, muchas gracias. Vamos